Shocking email update that I want to share with you guys that I have here. I received. Hey, check it out. But first, let me tell you, it says here that Elon Musk ran a Twitter poll on whether he should remain as Twitter's chief executive and that he would be abide by the results. Go cast your votes, folks. Some major Tesla shareholders have expressed concern over Musk trying to run both companies, saying Twitter is a major distraction. Yeah, actually, I watched Richard Fain last night, and he was talking about losing, I believe it was 20% of his investment so far in $200,000 that he invested into Twitter stock. And yeah, this could have a detrimental impact and effect on both companies, but more importantly, the money-making company that he uses to bankroll pretty much everything else. Aerojet Rocketdyne agreed to be bought by rival defense contractor L3Harris Technologies for $4.7 billion or $58 per share in cash, while Mesa Air Group Airlines announcement that it is finalizing a deal to run regional flights for United Airlines and that it is ending its partnership with American Airlines. Warner Music Atlantic Equities upgraded the stock to overweight from neutral. The firm said Warner Music has shown that it can continue to deliver growth in streaming despite a difficult economic backdrop. And Moderna upgraded the stock to buy from hold, noting a robust pipeline beyond COVID treatments. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, folks. Which some of this stuff is actually it's really shocking to come across this. America's primate shortage hinders medical research. The U.S. economy faces yet another painful supply shortage of not microchips, but monkeys. Scientists who fear they're falling behind on crucial medical progress have urged the U.S. government to increase spending on lab monkey breeding programs as a struggling scandal in Cambodia risks worsening an existing scarcity of little monkeys native to Southeast Asia. And it says that last month, U.S. federal prosecutors indicted indicted 8 people for their roles in an alleged monkey smuggling ring that supplied simians to research labs in Florida and in Texas. And I mean, you really can't make this stuff up. As far as American medical research is concerned, there just aren't enough monkeys to go around. Folks, crazy times. Brussels plans new carbon border tax just as coal use hits record levels. A lump of coal will soon cost too much to put in anyone's Christmas stocking, let alone the misbehaving kids for whom it's intended. A little Christmas pun there. As the year rolls to an end, the world is about to set a new and certainly unwelcome record for coal consumption. Somewhat serendipitously, on Sunday, the European Union, home to much of this year's coal burning, began finalizing details on a new tax on carbon emissions in trade routes. Just over a year ago, 194 countries signed a pledge to decrease coal emissions. But as the old maxim goes, when the global community makes a plan, autocrats laugh. Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine fractured the world's gas and oil supply chains, a disruption exacerbated by subsequent retaliatory sanctions on Russian oil. Short on their favored fossil fuel, much of Europe turned to an even dirtier option to starve off a deadly, serious energy crisis: coal. Meanwhile, massive emerging economies in India, China, and Indonesia increased coal consumption amid rising energy demand. And in all, coal consumption grew 1.2% in 2022 to 8 billion tons, enough to surpass the record set in 2013. And this is according to a report released by Paris-based energy watchdog, the International Energy Agency. Now, it's expected to increase again next year in much of the world though experts expect an eventual contraction, especially in Europe, as new renewable energy alternatives come online. In the meantime, the EU is hoping to clear the air by putting in place first of its kind carbon border tax legislation. Man, yeah, energy is always going to be an issue, and it's, there's going to be shortages, there's going to be sanctions, there's going to be restrictions, there's going to be taxes, there's going to be increased prices and costs. These are things that we need to be paying attention to, because all it's going to do is affect your wallet, positively and or negatively. And yeah, so folks, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Pay attention. Pay attention. These news headlines are real. The threat of SHTF is real. It may not come in the form of an immediate food shortage or a widespread food shortage. It may not come in the form of a total grid down situation. But at the end of the day, SHTF has been happening and it will continue to happen. And it just kind of depends on who you are, what your position is, and how well you're prepared, or perhaps maybe how unprepared you are as far as how much of an impact it's going to have on your day-to-day lives. So all I can say is that I'm going to continue to monitor pretty much everything that I keep track of on a regular basis, keep my ear to the street, try to keep my finger on the pulse as best I can, because all I can do is try to find ways to prepare and plan for what's coming, or possibly what's coming, continue to try to increase my income and spend less than I make, tighten my budget as best I can, and make sure I stay out of high interest revolving consumer-based revolving store credit card and high interest credit and debt, so that I can have this money that I'm making and save it and invest it and put it into companies like Tesla, and put it into companies that are potentially on the path to recovering from this market dip and this recession to further build wealth. I showed you guys before a screenshot of an investment portfolio that I had with M1 that I forgot I even had. And, I'm just seeing the growth of it despite the dips in the markets. And this is why I continuously invest. This is why I invest for the long term. And this is why, I want to make more money, spend less, waste less, so I can have more to invest into stocks, into real estate, into businesses, into cash flow producing assets, into ways to make sure that I'm never at one single point of income, single point of failure, and always pretty much ready to take advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself. Because that's how, oftentimes extremely successful business owners, extremely successful entrepreneurs typically don't take too many risks. They usually take very few risks, but possibly bigger. But when they present themselves, they are ready, willing, and able to execute on them, because they've been doing what they should have been doing to prepare and be ready. So for example, we were just approached with an opportunity to buy into a business that, a profitable business with huge scalability and growth potential, that if we didn't do what we were supposed to be doing, we weren't doing what we've been doing, we would not be able to take advantage of this opportunity, because we wouldn't have money. We would be too heavy, too much in debt. Our credit would be shot. And, you don't need credit to run a business, but these are all parts of a whole and components that can really help a business to really thrive and grow quickly. And, you don't want to grow too fast, too quick, but you also don't want to go too slow. And I'm getting emails actually coming through of folks asking me questions about, the businesses that they have and how can they be improved. And this one here, this was Amazon Biz, and asking how to increase traffic and visibility and increase sales. And this one here was interested in the side hustle opportunity with the plant-based body care soap, and with natural ingredients, no added harsh chemicals or anything like that. But that's pretty much what it boils down to, folks, is, continuously growing and improving, building, trying to get to a point of which where it's like, yeah, economists are making statements about the state of the economy, the future of the recession, how bad 2023 and 2024 are going to be, a depression, hyperinflation, higher interest. Like, I get it, it sucks, but, business is still going to run. Businesses are still going to run. There are some people who are feeling like the negative impacts of some poor decisions, not on necessarily 100% on their part, but maybe on the businesses that they're associated with that are ultimately going to have an impact and affect their income to a point of which where they're going to be laid off, or, they're going to see a drastic reduction of their income. But at the same time, there's still businesses out there that are running, making lots of money, expanding, building new businesses. There's still folks in real estate making millions and millions of dollars on commission because people are still buying homes. People are still selling homes. There's still money to be made in stocks and investing. You can make money in trading too, and options as well. And that's just it. It's like, it's never going to stop. It's always going to continuously go, but for those people who want to say, like, I'm tired of being broke, I'm tired of being poor, I'm tired of being, living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm ready to make a change. Well, the opportunities are there. As much bad news as we can find as far as what's going on in the world and what's going on in the economy and everything that's going to come to basically potentially try to wipe people out physically and financially, perhaps maybe even mentally or spiritually, I can find probably just as many headlines, information, opportunities that are equally opposite of how good things are and can be or are projected to be for the people who are on that path. If you want to know more about that path, hit me up.